Well, here's a special little treat. I'm at the DRE Adventure Academy in Tuscany, Italy, partway through our tours for 2023 through Europe, and I've got a very special bike next to me here. It is the bike that Antoine Meo rode at Erzberg Rodeo earlier this year, 2023. So pretty special beast, this one. This is a DesertX based on the standard production bike, but it does have a couple of trick bits on it. So we've got longer travel suspension there. I believe it's Kayaba forks still in the front with some beefier triple clamps. And then we've also got a beefier longer travel rear shock absorber there as well. So that unit is Kayaba as well, if you can see deep in there. It does have a Kayaba sticker on it. Could this be a sign of things to come? Pretty trick looking machine, but what I'm super impressed with overall is how stock it is really. So let's have a look at the main differences. So I mentioned that it's got the longer travel suspension. We've got narrower off-road wheels, so DID Dirt Star rims. It's fitted with pretty full-on aggressive Metzeler 6-day extreme enduro tyres on there, 90-90-21 in the front, and it's got a 140-80-18 in the rear. And I mentioned those narrow rims, but it's also got the stronger hubs on there as well, and the longer travel suspension front and rear. But aside from that, it's actually surprisingly stock. So let's have a closer look around at a few things. You can see Anton's given that rear tyre a fair old workout, and there you can see the size. So 140-80-18, Metzeler 6-day Enduro Extreme. It's got the Termignoni race exhaust, the Rally seat as genuine Ducati accessories, that longer travel Kayaba rear suspension. It's got a beefier hub on the rear, more of a conventional sort of off-road style one compared to the standard DesertX hub, and it's got those narrower Dirt Star rims. I imagine it's probably width-wise, can't see an actual measurement on there. Standard width would be about a 4.25 inch. That certainly looks a lot narrower. Could say maybe 2.5 inches wide, a little bit difficult to tell. Stock rear brake lever, all those side panels on the side, the fuel tank, everything around there is stock. All those side panels, the windscreen, completely stock. Headlight. Gets more interesting at the front. We've got triple clamps there that are machined and quite beefy. The longer travel suspension I mentioned. Here's one interesting thing. Single disc. One of the discs has been taken away for a lighter weight at the front end of the bike. We've got one disc on the side there. I'm assuming the diameter is still the same. I haven't quite found a diameter on there yet, but I assume it's the same diameter as the standard disc, and one Brembo caliper on there. Same sort of caliper that's on the standard DesertX. It does have those extra protectors, I guess you could say, on the front fender there to give a little bit more protection in that upper end of the inner fork tube. It does get interesting up in the cockpit here with some of the individual setups that Anton's got. I'm going to need to translate this later on. Apre tutto. Always. Something always. Or, yeah, I don't know. And I'm also going to have to translate that one. Non pesare de gras. So, a couple of the interesting little things there. Kill switch is actually mounted underneath the handlebar there, so there's no chance of him accidentally knocking the kill switch when he's going up those stupid, crazy, big, steep hills. Completely standard switch block on that left-hand side of the bars. There is some extra spaces in here between the handlebars, so what I'm assuming is that that the handlebar is definitely different from standard. You can see the markings in there. A little bit of a different bar from standard, beefier, straighter, squarer, sort of motocross style handlebars. So I'm assuming they're narrower than the stock bars, so they had to add these spaces in for the handguards to fit in the position that they do, because that's a fixed position there for the handguard. Therefore, where this sits on the outer edge is fixed as well. So the handlebars are a little bit narrower than stock, with a couple of spaces in on both sides. The left side's actually got 3 spaces in there. The other cool thing is they've got the Ducati by Rizoma folding levers on both the brake and clutch side. So even though that the handguards aren't beefed up, it's just the stock plastic handguards, those are folding levers. They can pivot there in the middle. It's also got good adjustment there, so not so much risk of the levers getting broken with those folding lever tips. Again, up on the top triple clamp, you can see it's a really big beefy Maschine triple clamp there. Still got standard sort of absorbers or rubber dampers in on the handlebar clamps, and they are stock handlebar clamps up on the top there too. But we can also see the fork leg has, we've got external compression adjustment on the right hand side, external compression adjustment on the left hand side, which means a rebound damping adjustment will be at the bottom end of the legs. It's going to be up in underneath there, and I can feel a little bit in underneath there. The other screw at the back here on the top of the fork legs is to bleed the air out of the forks. So they're definitely a different fork fitted to the bike, very beefy unit. So pretty cool to see that bike up close in person and see the details that they put into the bike that Anton rode at Erzberg. And I am actually really surprised at how close to standard it is. It's we've got a lot of genuine Ducati accessories on there, like the bash plate, and very, very standard looking. So could it be a sign of things to come? Longer travel suspension on DesertX, stronger off-road wheels. That'd be pretty sweet. Quite a good bike, quite interesting.
Can we go in there now and buy wine?
You want to buy wine?
Yes.
It's still open?
Yes.
All right, let's buy wine.